Alright, so if you were to come up to me at my place of work, place your order, and ask me, so Tantu, in Rising Storm 2 Vietnam, which gun do you hate the most? Now, keyword, hate, not which gun I think is the worst, I've already covered that gun. But there's one gun that I hate, and it's not a bad gun, by all means, it's a decent gun, and that gun is the SKS. Or to be exact, it stands for this, I'm not gonna bother attempting it. But I genuinely hate this gun. Now, I know some of you are gonna hit that dislike button. Oh wait, you can't anymore.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Or, you might go in the comments and say, oh yeah, I have a chronic skill issue and I need to get good. And honestly, you are correct. Every gun, or most, you might want to put a little asterisk next to that, most guns in RS2 are good and in the right hands can absolutely dominate. With the SKS is no exception. I've been domed from 200 meters away by it, so obviously it isn't a bad gun. But out of all the guns in the game, this one gives me a mental breakdown to use. But it's like I also don't see a purpose to this weapon as well, which I will explain in a second. And I know that some of you might absolutely love this weapon. Heck, I've been even reading comments on, because I've been doing some more thorough research into my videos because I don't want to have a VZ58 incident again.
Looks and feels like a real MP5.
I've been seeing comments from people like in Vietnam saying like, oh yeah, when I was in high school we had to like disassemble and reassemble the SKS and everything. But what I'm trying to say is I'd just love to hear your thoughts on the weapon in the comments. But the SKS, right, is referred to by some people as a semi-automatic AK, especially since they fire the same ammo. To be more specific, they fire, don't say it. Oh, I'm gonna say it. It fires 6.2mm ammo. Whew. I thought I was gonna stuff up for a second. But in all seriousness, it fires the same ammo as the AK, except in the form of 10 bullets to go on a stripper. But you don't have that violent kick when you fire in semi like the Type 56 weapons have, not so much the AKM, that's a lot more controllable. But even when you compare it to other weapons in the game, I'd say it's definitely more on the accurate side of things. But look, when I was getting gameplay for this weapon, a fair few things were running through my mind. That is, one, I am most likely using this weapon because I am playing as the PAVN and they don't really have much of a choice in terms of firearms, and that I'd much rather be using the AKM because it's better in my opinion. And two, why not just use a MAZ-49? It's basically an M14 and I'm being detrimental to my team because I can perform better with an alternate weapon, especially in a competitive sense. Like if I want to use a Mosin Nagant, that's purely for memes. Like if I feel like using a bolt action, pretending that I'm some rice farmer and I'll wear my non-la or conical hat, yeah, that's why I use the Mosin. If I want to use the MAZ-49, if I want to be competitive, Type 56 if I'm feeling a little bit experimental, especially if I'm playing more close quarters orientated maps, M1 Carbine especially for close quarters maps because that's like a run and gun weapon. SKS, it's like the AK can just do what the SKS does, if you know what I mean. I don't see too much of a reason to use the SKS. And I even asked on the Rising Storm 2 Vietnam official Discord saying, hey, what do you guys think of this weapon? And someone said that, yeah, like it's not a bad gun, but it's like the worst option out of good choices, if you know what I mean. But look, the reason why I hate this weapon with a burning passion is because of the reload problems. Now, if you don't know what I mean, this gun is notorious for not completing the reload cycle, and I have died so many times because of it, to the point where I have had to turn off my computer, remove myself from the situation, and touch some grass. Because the thing is, right, you think the reload cycle has completed because you see the ammo go into the gun and he pulls the little thing back. I forgot the name of the thing, please don't hate me, but pulls the thing back. You'd think that the freaking ammo is in the gun, but no, it's like you run around, you encounter an enemy, and suddenly some sicko has just removed the ammo from your gun like it's a joke or a prank.
I'm going to kill myself and it's your fault!
And this especially happens when you think the reload cycle's done and you run or you aim, or you might do something that'll cancel the reload because there's like a split second where there's a delay for the little magazine icon to come up and say, oh yeah, it's done reloading. But it's not just this reload problem, it's just the reload itself when it works. It's just tedious. If you're new to RS2, if a gun reloads with strippers, always fire all your ammo before you reload, especially with the MAZ-49, which I know that uses a magazine, but if you fire like half your bullets, it'll reload by strippers. Don't do that, because, I mean, you can do that, but I tend to not do that. But look, otherwise, you know, you'll get a much longer reload animation, and I know some people might call me a hypocrite, but the 10 rounds that the SK gets just feels very limiting at times. And yes, some people will be like, oh, but Tantu, you like the 50 round boxes over the 30 with the M1 carbine. What's up with that? And yes, that's true, but the reload is significantly faster and it allows for faster paced gameplay, whereas the SKS feels a lot more sluggish, especially in terms of reload. Like, you know, you run out of ammo and you need to find like a little corner to wait and get the reload over and done with, and you need to make sure the reload's actually finished, because I just don't see the purpose. Like, why would you use this with a, you know, a more difficult reload when you could just use an AK? You get 30 bullets, you can more or less forget about reloading until you really know that, okay, I've got like no ammo left, or you can manually check yourself, you just toss in a new 30 round magazine in there. It's over double the ammo per magazine that the AKs get opposed to the SKS. But you know, what about range? Usually I take the Maz for its one shot capability. You know, you really just gotta line up the shot and that's it, really. You just shoot and forget. Even the Mosin has just fantastic shell velocity. But look, the SKS wasn't bad to use. It wasn't that bad. It didn't bounce around a lot, and I found myself spamming the gun in intervals of 2. Like, I'd set up, lead the target, spam 2 bullets. If the bullets missed, then, you know, I'll use where they landed as a marker to adjust myself. But the thing is, every situation I found myself doing this, I was the PAVN, because they don't have any rifleman weapons that can one-shot. But a nice advantage of the SKS over the AKs is the MOA, or minute... Oh, fuck, how do I say this? Minutes or minutes? I'm gonna say minutes. I'm sorry if that's wrong, but the minute of angle, basically where the bullet will land over distance. Now this is my interpretation of it. Basically, over distance, bullets don't go straight like a laser beam. So the MOA means that how fucking off center the bullet goes over a certain distance. That is my belief, okay? That's my interpretation of it. And basically the SKS has a higher chance, or a lower MOA, basically means that it's gonna be more accurate over distance. The bullet isn't gonna fucking deviate like an AK. So for range, technically the SKS is better, but I'd still take the AKM because it's just a lot more controlled, you get more ammo. But yes, the shell velocity, I believe, is technically worse on the AKM. But even with the iron sights, you know, it's got pretty much the same iron sights or similar iron sights to the Type 56. I personally, like, I don't know if they're the exact, but I probably prefer it a little bit better on the SKS. But nonetheless, you all have told me how much you hate these ringed iron sights, and I agree, they're pretty damn terrible. But look, my next RS2 video is going to be about the Sapper class, and it might take a little bit of a while to prepare because I gotta, you know, practice or try out these things, and I do apologize if the next RS2 video will come out a little bit later than you'd expect. But if you want to see more RS2 related videos, do check out the playlist on screen. Anyways, I do appreciate that you watched the end of the video, it really helps out the channel. Anyways, my name is Tantu, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.